the leader who led the separate statehood movement, himself became the chief minister of the newly formed state and leading it from front and getting marched towards the path of progress and development. The Telangana society, which was destroyed in all the sectors during the United Andhra Pradesh rule, now under the visionary and dynamic leadership of Chief Minister Sri Kalvakundala Chandrasekhar Rao, has been moving forward with perfect planning, sincerity and commitment ever since he took over the reins of state 6 years ago. I have no doubt that this forward movement is yielding good results now. If we make a comparison of the situation that existed when Telangana state was formed and now the delightful achievements and success the state achieved in such a short span of time is being observed with admiration by the entire country. Situation that prevailed during the formation of the state. If we recollect the sordid conditions that prevailed as on 2nd June 2014, when the Telangana state was formed, there were dire straits in all the sectors. In the initial days, the Telangana state faced severe power crisis and was reeling under severe regular power cuts. There was no minimum security for the lives of the poor and their livelihood. Suicides, starvation deaths, migration were become an order of the day. The meager rupees 200 per month pension given to the poor was not able to meet even their basic needs. The entire farm sector was pushed into a crisis. The situation was so pathetic that thousands of farmers who were in despair and distress used to commit suicides. Farmers used to suffer due to non-supply of quality seed, fertilizers and pesticides on time, and problem was more severe with sale and supply of spurious seeds, adulterated fertilizers and fake pesticides. Farmers had to struggle a lot to get investment to cultivate their crops. The situation was so grave that farmers used to raise private loans at an exorbitant interest rates. Owing to non-completion of the irrigation projects, there was no availability of water for agriculture. Farmers' future was bleak. Groundwater table dipped acutely due to large-scale destruction of tanks under the United Andhra Pradesh rule. The situation was so grim that even if a borewell was drilled up to 600 feet, 700 feet, or even to 800 feet, there were no traces of water. Since power supply was hardly available even for 4 to 5 hours in a day, crops used to wither away. Even if some manages to get some produce, it would never get a proper support price in the market. With all these problems prevailing in the farm sector in Telangana, agriculture was regarded as a loss-making and waste profession. The allied trades and professions of the agriculture sector were also collapsed in the state, and people from these professionals often forced to migrate. This scenario is still fresh in our memories. The entire rural economy was disturbed, unorganized and uncertain future, and beyond redemption with the collapse of both agriculture and its allied professions. The drinking water problem was severe and unbearable in Telangana society prior to the formation of the state. Health and education sectors were also collapsed. The situation was so bad that the poor had to borrow heavily and sell their belongings to get the deliveries done in the private and corporate hospitals. There were playing cards clubs in every basti, in cities and towns, and number of illicit liquor selling points in every village. Law and order was not under control. there was an onslaught of Telangana literature, culture, traditions, and arts. No importance was given to Telangana temples and festivals. Under these trials and tribulations, on 2nd June 2014, the Telangana state started its journey under the foresighted leader who successfully spearheaded the separate statehood movement under the stewardship of Chief Minister Sri K. Chandrasekhar Rao. My government, after taking into consideration its resources, facilities, needs, advantages, disadvantages, strengths, and weaknesses, had prepared short-term, mid-term, long-term plans for the overall development of the state, and thus launched state's revitalization and rejuvenation process. Social welfare. In order to provide minimum security of livelihoods to the poor, my government had given top priority to welfare sector with lot of concern on humanitarian considerations. The welfare program are being designed and implemented with utmost humanitarian perspective by the Telangana government to give security to the lives and livelihood of the poor. To bring more number of poor people under the umbrella of below poverty line, the BPL, the maximum income limit has been increased from rupees 60,000 to 1,50,000 in rural areas, and in urban areas it was increased from 75,000 to 2 lakh rupees. Within this, even those working in the government and private companies with lesser salaries are able to derive benefits from the welfare schemes. With the amount of rupees 2016 per month given as Asara pension, the poor are able to live happily without depending on anyone. My government has increased pension for pensioners with disability from rupees 500 to 3016. Though there are lakhs of BD workers in the country, the pension are given to BD workers at rupees 2016 per month in Telangana state only. Similarly, for the first time in the country, single women, persons suffering with filaria are also given Asara pensions. Let me share a happy news with you all that my government has also decided to reduce the age limit for the old age pension from 65 years to 57 years. Very soon, all the eligible persons who attain the age of 57 years will be given Asara pension in the state. Under Kalyana Lakshmi, Shadi Mubarak schemes, my government is giving 1,116 rupees towards expenses for the eligible girl's marriage. Earlier, though through fair price shops, ration shops, only 4 kgs rice was given per person with a ceiling. Now, 6 kgs of rice per person is given without ceiling on number of persons in the household at the rate of rupees 1 per kg. In the government schools, hostels, students are served meal with fine rice. My government is running 959 residential schools with the highest standards of teaching. This is not being done anywhere in the country so far. KCR Kids schemes is being implemented to encourage safe and institutional deliveries in the government hospitals. My government has abolished transport tax on the tractors used by the farmers and autos run by the youth for self-employment.